anything that you go into a camp, it becomes very stuck because we have too many thoughts. We have to know that everything comes from one wholeness, oneness, from the Rebbe Shlita itself. And Pikabula, the first place that we meet HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is called Chachmu Ma'ayin Timutzeh. Chachmu itself is called Emunah, because it's Koach Ma. Emunah means I don't understand, I can't understand. HaKadosh Baruch Hu ain't a goof, ain't a masige goof. But a person can believe. But what is he believing in? Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh gave him a halach by Atu, v'chol b'tazkho el hatevel. That the letters of that a person is, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, he created the world with Torah. And Torah itself is Takel Kitchebi Chebaraisu Bura Alma. That means the first creation of the Ayin, of the Ein Sof, was Chochmu. Chochmu was letters, Aleph base. Aleph was the first one. And he tells us that in that Aleph, everything is there. Bekoyach and potential. Even Rashi says in Parshas Bereshis, because the first day created the world, Tohu v'Vohi, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the whole world, but everything was not in place. Then on the other days, HaKadosh Baruch Hu set everything into place, which is called, in Kabbalah, called Tzimtzum, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, until he set everything out to the place. So when a person is in a stage of getting mixed up, actually he was too busy with himself. What does he mean busy with himself? Because I'm Mensch is chelik elekai mimal. What is chelik elekai mimal? But one part, because Baruch Hu created the world with oasis. Oasis, until it got down to Torah, 600,000 words, which created 600,000 neshumas, which is 600,000 neshumas is split up into netzitza neshumas, neshumas and neshumas. That means every Yid has his certain part of Rebbe Shlita, chelik lekai mimal, which he has to, which that's the way he connects to Rebbe Shlita. So when I get all mixed up, it's Rabbis machshuvas. When we have too many machshuvas, something is wrong. I cannot focus on one thing. That's actually what we get. That's actually where we get lost. And the Piyut says that why do the Shum get all mixed up? They want to accomplish a lot of things at one time, but it doesn't work that way. The way a person can accomplish things, if I can be, these days it's called Kan Vachshav, here and now. I have to mindfulness. That means I have to be in this second. The only place that I can connect myself to the Rebbe Shlita is in this second. But how do I know that I'm not in this second? How do I know I'm not living in mindfulness? So Usha said there are two ways I can check myself out. One, if I'm in stress. Number two, if there's anyone that I cannot accept him. Because the Torah said away, Hillel told the Ger, Gareni al regel achas. The Ger wanted to give me one principle that I can hold on to, and I have the whole Torah. So he told him, so after according to Chassidus, the whole Torah has one tachlis to connect us to the Rebbe Shlita. That means once a person is connected to the Rebbe Shlita, it's Torah Hashem Lakoil, everything is there, he can rely. The Bush used to call it Kigumel, Aleima, just like a small child has the mother, and he doesn't understand, he doesn't know what a mother means, but it's in the hands of the mother, it's the most comfortable it can be. That's the biggest simcha that the Melech says, Legova libi, leumi einai, leilachti v'gedolos v'nefruas v'meni. I'm not going to keep myself big. Only kigomu aleim. My whole messias is only just like a small child on the hands of the mother. That means just a small child that doesn't know what a mother means. But when the mother is in the surrounding, the mother is in the vicinity, it's calm. The same thing, when I get all mixed up, actually I lost connection with my mother. That's actually, it gets me all into tense. It says Rebbe that a person is busy with himself. That is one of the ways that he splinters up everything into a lot of issues. I'm going, I'm doing, I'm thinking, I'm the one that's planning. Everything is ich. When a person is so caught up with that ani, as we call it, that's what it looks like. Then he's in his own jail that he built himself. He could not get out of there. The Melech calls it "Vaytziru mimazge nafshi lahoida seshemech." Whenever I get into a mazge, it's a jail of nafshi, of my inner part that I see, I get all mixed up, which is stress, which is nefesh. It's not the objects out there; it's the subject, how we're thinking of things. Then is the time that we have to get out of that ani and get to the lechu of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How does the person make that shift of ani, which I'm all busy with 100,000 small things, till to get to that atzas Hashem hisukim. We all know, ones that drive a car, know that when you drive a car, you can be in drive. We all know that when a person drives a car, if he's in reverse and he wants to go over to drive, he has to go through neutral, because you can't go over straight from drive to reverse to drive. You have to go into neutral. The same thing is when a person's in a matziv of ani, that he's all mixed up. There is no way that I can go over to lechu, that everything is one with the Rebbe Shlita, only through going through neutral. That David HaMelech says, lechu, I want to go from the ani, I want to go to the lechu, is demir. I have to go into neutral. Demir means keep, used to call it famachen de moech, close your mind. But what does close your mind mean? Demir means close your mind, just focus on the oneness of a HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Focusing on the oneness of a HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that means that the meal in the beginning without doing anything. Then automatically the ani goes down. It's just like a cloud, which we say the whole emotions which runs too fast. So that's also because of the amygdala in the front, one that's doing, and it takes some 12 minutes till it calms down. But that only happens in the meal. That means anything that I'll be doing when I'm frustrated, I'll mess up the machshuvas, I'll mess up my talking, I'll mess up whatever I'm doing. So the only way, if a person wants to free himself from the ani, he has to go over to the lechu. But the way to do that is through the demir. Then you come to tehillah. What does tehillah mean? Lecho, Hashem, Agdilu, Agvil, Vatefes, Netzach, Ahoid. Then you can go over and see the broad picture of that oneness, that actually everything is there and nothing is missing. That means a person can have everything, but if he doesn't have his mind, he doesn't have anything. A person can have his mind, actually he has everything, but even though he doesn't have anything, because he has the potential to everything. But when he doesn't have his mind, he's not having even what he has, and not having the potential either. He's all cut off from his source. We'll explain, just like a frigidaire, you have to put into the socket, into the electricity, then it'll start working. So there could be a frigidaire out there, but it ain't working, and there can be electricity there, but you're not using the electricity. So the demir is actually a time that every person, when, especially in these days, when we go into a certain stress, certain tension, that is the time that we have to take a pause, that time off. If it's a few seconds, if it's a few minutes, if Chassidus used to tell you we have special times for that, which is called as bodedis. If it's by davening, when a person goes into davening, then he has to actually look into the siddur, not to daven by heart, because one of the ways that we connect to Rebbe Hashem, as you said before from Baal Shem Tov, is the oasis, is the letter of the Aleph Beis. Rusha says, well, as long as we're busy in understanding what the davening is, we're not davening, we're learning davening. As long as we're busy with emotions in our davening, we didn't connect yourself to the Rebbe, because our emotions are bounded, our understanding is bounded. But the way to start davening is through emotions. The way to start davening is through understanding. But as you get to the Shemoneh, when you get to the highest spot, then we have to be quiet, and then actually only see letters, only see oisies. The Rebbe Shlita, which is very famous, Avodah Tefillah, always emphasize that we should always use a siddur, even oisies, or shiras, or shamavayim. The more you turn yourself into the oisies, that's the nearest place that you can get, which differentiates between the yesh and the ayin, is oisies. That's the closest place that we can get. So in order to get to, and then we're connected to that place of the meal, which there is tehillah. There's you actually give to condense everything in the one that there is no, the Rebbe Shlita created the world. The Rebbe Shlita is the world. It says Anochi Hashem Elokecha. When the Torah says Anochi Hashem Elokecha, that means Anochi Anu Nafshui Ksulis Yerubis. The Megamora says that my whole atzmi, said my essence is the Torah. So actually, when a person learns Torah, etc. But so we have two zmanim. We have a zman of boiker and we have a zman of lailo. We have a zman of boiker, lahagid ba'boiker chazech, things are going the way it's supposed to be. But we also have a matzah which is called lailo. Lailo is such things are all mixed up. We used to call it tohu v'vom. We have two types of avodah. We have avodah in boiker. Then think about the Brutus. Think about how Arya Leshos. Think about think about the Hashgucha Brutus that Kodesh Baruch Hu is doing with you. Think about the greatness of a Kodesh Baruch Hu. You can use it for chesed. Chesed, that means I can understand in those minutes that whatever is here it would be ganz shaykh that it shouldn't be here. There are all kinds of reasons that the Rusha called it machoivin negdesumit, chatusin negdesumit. The Melech says 3 tumits, shvis Hashem negdesumit, machoivin negdesumit, chatusin negdesumit. Every time that we're in a stage that our mind is working, so we have to know that it could have been otherwise, and if it's not that way, then then things are going. We have Shavis Hashem Neged. So we see the Chesed, we see the Rachamim. But there are times which is called Lailu. Lailu is, as we said, it's Rabbis Machshuz Belevish. We are so mixed up with so many thoughts and so many plans that are not working, and etc. Then we have to use the Demir. The Demir is called, the Moshe called it Emunah Pshuta. Emunah Pshuta means without understanding, without how it works, because whatever I use understanding won't work in those minutes. But emunah pshuta is I accept things even though it's not worked out all the way to the end, but I believe it's there. And when a person concentrates in that second, which is, if anyone saw it lately, I was once familiar of one of the sirens. There was somebody with shir that got very frustrated. I didn't know how to calm him down. So I told him to say together with me this pusik l'chu, the meal tehillah. I told him to say after me, but I mixed it up. L'chu, the meal tehillah, l'chu, tehillah, the meal, tehillah, l'chu, the meal, tehillah, the meal, l'chu, etc. That is the way that a person can concentrate on one point, but it's a point of oisius, and then automatically he was able to calm down and to go further. He even told me that he used it constantly, but everyone has his way how to, if it's Ein Sof, Ein Od Milvado, it's Ein Od Milvado, Ein Milvado Oid, or it's Tzerosky, Kvis Hashem, the Shoch that we say before we go to sleep. Actually, we're condensing our whole Metzias into the Metzias Amiti, which we call it when we are in our shiftless, when we see ourselves in our Metzias of shiftless. That's when we can reveal the Metzias of Havai, that it is something there, it's Rebbe Shlita there. So we have to use the Lailu actually from Menoscho. We go back to the Pusik, Lahagid, Tchazket. Whenever things are going, I use the mode of Chesed, thinking how much he thanked me that I'm here, everyone that's helping me, all the people are here tonight at the Shiur, etc. That is called the Hagid, Tchazket. Then we have the Menoscho Balaylas. Whenever in a stage of Lailu, then we don't have how to concentrate at all. So all we have to do is just, no doubt, it's a time of a minute, pshit, without understanding, without feeling, without knowing future, past. We just live in this second and to this point of the Hilu. That is the biggest shvach that the Kodesh Baruch Hu, we can give him, that there is nothing out there, only the Rebbe Shlita. It's amazing. Then we're in the Miyus. So the Busha says, a person that it might hurt him. The whole chiddush of Rebbe is that we shouldn't suffer from the pain. Even the pain is there. The question is if we suffer from pain and we don't suffer from pain. But if that pain brought me to such a stage that I can live one with the Rebbe so that he won't suffer from the pain, because when I'm ready to get to the koch. So in order that a person should be able to summarize what we're saying, in order that a person should be able to go out of the ani, of myself, and get to the lechut, he must go through the miu. What we call the miu is schweigen, schweigen, schweigen. He said schweigen, schweigen, schweigen. Is Marvieren is stike, stike, stike. Marvieren is keeping quiet, quiet, quiet takes away the bad decree. As long as a person keeps quiet, quiet means from emotions, quiet means from understandings, quiet means in all the, just focusing on one thing, then don't answer anybody, don't do anything in those minutes, don't even think, don't think other Rebbe either, until you go, you're in neutral. Then, once you're in the meal, and you fight yourself, don't answer back people that are aggravating, don't answer back how things are going to go back, don't see things too harsh. Then you learn how to keep that shtika, that quietness. Then automatically the person, that even a person does you something wrong, if you can, and you're busy blaming somebody, you're messing it up yourself, because you're the one that's messing it up. Since I'm going into a certain pattern of thinking, and my thoughts are not then with me, I have to go back to a place which is called Chochmu. Chochmu is actually the source of the Bino, which I can work out things. So the Chochmu is called Shtikel. As we said before, as long as I'm in reverse, there's no way to go into drive. Only first we have to go through the demil. And the lechu and the demil go together. That means when a person is in lechu, he must be in the demil. If you're in the demil, you'll go over to lechu. But there's no way that a person should live ani, and it should be the demil. The other ways, there's no such thing. A person should be in a turmoil of nefesh and all depressed, with dargis, with stress, and all kinds of tense, and think about lechu. It just doesn't work. One is tied up with the second. Anyone that lives with the Rebbe Shlita, then he goes out of the ani, and he goes out of the ani, he gets free of all his tense and all his things. We'll also end with a small story that there was the Chus that came to the Dondolo all his years, asking for a yeshir, and he has no panus, and every time the Dondolo gave him a brucha, and he went away very happy. Till one day he came to the Rebbe, that's it, I can't take it anymore. It's impossible. Give me some kind of brucha that my whole muzzle changes, and I become someone altogether, something new. So the Dondolo starts thinking and tells him, well, you'll have to pay me 200 rubles for that brucha. He says, wow, 200 rubles, that's my whole fortune. I don't have anything more than that. So he says, well, I'm sorry, that's the price that I take for it. You don't have to do it. I have to do the deal. So he went home, comes home to his wife, and the wife says, what? The Rebbe wanted to promise you to be to be a rich man, so what is 200 rubles will be for you? Well, today I must try to get it. He says, the whole thing that I have is my donkey that I go around and pedal and sell things. If I'll sell that donkey, I want to have that minimum that I have. So his wife tells him, okay, but you have much more. Anyways, he couldn't get out of it. He sold the donkey and took the 200 rubles. I went to the Rebbe and bought the 200 rubles. The Rebbe gave him a brucha that anything you touch to turn from this day on should turn into gold, and that's the way it went. But there was a chassid that was out there with the Rebbe. He knew his Rebbe, the Dondolo. He never did such mystics, never did such mofsim. So he came into the Rebbe. What happened? What was this supposed to be? You take 200 rubles and the person becomes rich. So he told her, I'll tell you, the person's already coming into me over 20 years, that he's going around peddling, and all he's talking about every time that he comes in, that the horse or the donkey wasn't healthy, the donkey's not eating, the donkey's not schlepping, the donkey ahead, donkey ahin. I saw his head is all in the donkey. So I had to take away that donkey from him. Then he'll be able to go all the way back to the Shlitim, to the Demir. And once you're under the Demir, that's where your Yeshia comes. So because Baruch Hu should help, everybody should be able to be mechazik others, and shouldn't be, they don't want to mechazik you. Which is to say, we'll go through all these times, not for myself, we go through all the times in order to be mechazik later. Any person that I meet, I can tell him I was in it, and I went out of it. Kol tiv, hafraylich haloch, and alisting mutumet. And this year's Lila Nishmas, my shver, is the Yurtza tonight, the Achmir Tzvi Yehida, the B'yachil Yeshia, who's the son of the Biala Rebbe. So the Schizl Beinstein, everyone should have Atzluch in all his ways. Kol tiv, Siyas Toides. Kol tiv.